Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Trainspotting. So this won a poll on the community tab. It was very close between this and Green Knight. I'll do Green Knight at some point as well eventually. If you want to vote on upcoming movies, upcoming reactions, then be sure to keep up to date on the community tab where you can vote for what you want to see next. So about Trainspotting, I really don't know a lot about this movie. I know Scotland and drugs, and that's it. I know it's supposed to be kind of weird and trippy, of course, because it deals with drugs and things, but I don't really know what kind of the plot revolves around, where the conflict comes from. Are they like something bad happened with dealers and they're running away, or they're trying to get drugs, or they're just like something bad happened on a bad trip or something along those lines. I don't really know what the story kind of consists of, so I'm excited to see it. I know this is very popular and there is a sequel T2 which I'll get to at some point soon, so I'm excited to just get into it and see, you know, Ewan McGregor right at the start of his career, wasn't it, this? So that'll be fun to see as well. So before we get into this, be sure to check out the Patreon. Over there you can find 1 week early access, full-length timer-based reactions and polls so you can vote for what's next. So yeah, let's just jump into Trainspotting. Okay, already running away from someone.
Choose a job, choose a career, choose a family.
Okay, so it seems like this might be a commentary on capitalism and consumerism.
Choose good
Renton.
low cholesterol and dental insurance. Choose your friends. Choose DIY and wondering who the fuck you are on a Sunday morning.
I like this guy introducing all the characters.
I chose not to choose life. I chose something else.
Something else, yeah.
And the reasons? There are no reasons. Who needs reasons when you've got heroin?
Better than Diamonds Are Forever. Judgment reflected in its relatively poor showing at the box office.
Misery and desperation and death and all that shite, which is not to be ignored.
Fuck off!
Is the pleasure of it.
They're all dead. Wait.
I recognise that guy, the middle one, that just kissed him.
Take the best orgasm you ever had, multiply it by 1,000 and you're still nowhere near it. And when you're off it, you're suddenly obliged to worry about all sorts of other shite.
Yeah, not looking after the kid properly. Don't care about anything else, just the next high, yeah.
Is that you have to endure all manner of cunts telling you that
No way would that poison my body with that shite. All these fucking chemicals.
He's doing it while drinking and smoking. That must be on purpose, to be ironic.
Every chance you've had, son, you've blown it.
never again, Swanee, I'm off the skag. Yeah, no more, I'm finished with that shite.
Yeah, fix his life up, but it won't happen.
Of course I'd have another shot. After all, I had work to do.
So why is the film actually called Trainspotting then? 'Cause there were train sounds there, so is there actually something to do with trains in the movie?
Relinquishing junk, stage 1, preparation.
So he's trying to turn his life around.
For this you will need 1 room which you will not leave, soothing music, tomato soup, 10 tins of,
So he's just gonna lock himself in his room and try and get over the withdrawal symptoms.
and 1 bottle of Valium, which I've already procured from my mother, who is, in her own domestic and socially acceptable way, also a drug addict. All I need is 1 final hit to soothe the pain.
He's already broken through.
Ideal for your purposes. Slow release. Bring you down gradually.
Okay, so he's trying to like mellow himself out.
Heroin makes you constipated.
Oh,
I'm no longer constipated. Under the circumstances, I'll settle for anywhere.
yeah, it's gonna be disgusting. Okay, that's so much worse than I was expecting. How can anyone even have this? That's not even like a public toilet. That's part of a business. How can they? How are they even still running? He's gonna have to fish out the pills as well. Oh, what is that in his hand? Oh. Yeah, I feel the same way. Oh, Does he fall in Oh no, he's just like dreaming, falling into it. This is really creative, I like that. So in real life, did he actually stick his head in?
The downside of coming off junk was I knew I would need to mix with my friends again in a state of full consciousness.
Yeah.
He came off junk at the same time as me, not because he wanted to, you understand, but just to annoy me. How easily he could do it, thereby downgrading my own struggle. He insisted on telling me once again about his unifying theory of life.
He just loves to chat. He loves to think he's smart and talk about loads of stuff. He was talking about what James Bond was best earlier and things.
Or David Bowie or Lou Reed. And in your heart, you kind of know that although it sounds all right, it's actually just shite.
I don't rate that at all, despite the Academy Award. So, we all get old, we can't hack it anymore, and that's it. Yeah. Clear enough, Mitch Moneypenny.
Is it like an airsoft gun or a paintball gun or something?
For a vegetarian, Rents, you're a fucking evil shot.
First hint of that, and they'll be onto the DHSS. This cunt is no trying. But then again, try too hard. You might get the fucking job. Exactly.
Yeah, going for a job interview.
The speed is just a ticket, man.
Oh, I went to Craig Newton. I just put down to Royal Edinburgh College to help get the job. There's too much discrimination in this.
He did way too much. I love how he's sitting super far away from them in the room. It's like symbolism how far off he is.
You mean that you lied on your application?
Only to get my foot in the door.
Do you see yourself as having any weaknesses?
Oh yes, it's like I'm a bit of a perfectionist.
Even back then, the perfectionist thing was a joke.
Spud had done well. I was proud of him. He fucked up good and proper.
So they wanted him to fuck up? Was he like referred there by the job centre? So it was like he had to go to the interview to prove he was looking for a job to stay on unemployment. Was that what it was? Because they said he was referred there.
Looking at me right fucking at me as if to say, come ahead, square go.
I'm noticing some of the slang and stuff isn't in the subtitles, probably because people wouldn't get it. They're like simplifying the subtitles a bit.
That was Begbie's story. Or at least that was Begbie's version of the story. But a couple of days later, I got the truth from Tommy. He never told lies, he never took drugs, and he never cheated on anyone.
The goody
It's
two
Wednesday
shoes.
morning. Every time Begbie goes near the table, he fucks it up.
He went.
How could you believe it? The poor wee cunt hasn't even.
He was gonna stab him. Fucking hell.
He was gonna chip him, I tell you.
I do love the slang. I've never even heard of it. He's gonna chip him. I've never even heard of that, but that's great.
He's a mate, you know. So what can you do?
Stop being a mate with him?
Begbie didn't do drugs either. He just did people.
Oh shit.
He got blasted. No cunt leaves here till we find out what cunt did it.
So he just loves a fight. He doesn't even do drugs or anything. He just gets drunk and has fights.
Desperate for a shag, but watching him suffer was just too much fun.
Then she finds out about a ticket for Iggy Pop the same night. Well, the last time, big thing.
Oh, he went without her.
What are you gonna do? Well, I paid for his ticket.
Which the successful in the sexual sphere segregated themselves from the failure.
He's just distraught. He can't. He's got no game. Okay. It seems like she's disinterested with being there, and so is he.
Mark Renton had fallen in love.
Just seeing that quickly.
I was very impressed with the capable and stylish manner in which you dealt with that situation.
Well, I'll come back with you if you like, but like, I'm not promising anything, you know?
Approach usually works. Or let me... The truth is that you're a quiet, sensitive type, but if I'm prepared to take a chance, I might just get to know the inner you.
She sees right through him.
Don't us girls just love that?
Yeah, she's not having any of it.
You getting in a nightclub?
Is she actually inviting him in? Okay.
I expect expect you to be a considerate and thoughtful lover, generous but firm.
At least she knows what she's wants. She's being upfront about it.
You can't sleep here.
What?
She lived with her parents.
And don't make any noise.
You returned it by mistake.
Returned it!
I have to return some videotapes.
So every punter in Etra's jacking off to your video!
He wet himself. Oh shit. Doesn't even know where he is.
Your friend of Diane's?
More a friend of a friend, no? Right. Are you her flatmates like?
They're her parents, aren't they?
I must remember that one.
She's good. I don't know. As soon as I don't know, I thought that was coming. I don't know. There's something off. Obviously, the actress must be over 18 because of scenes earlier. But yeah.
I'm sorry about last night, by the way.
What's happened to him?
No, I'll wash them. Ah, it's no need. No, it's no problem.
Oh. I thought it was blood earlier.
You were quite happy to do a lot more last night.
Yeah, and that's what's illegal.
You're not going to jail.
Oh, well, that's very easy.
How old actually is she then?
If you don't see me again, I'll tell the police.
Oh, she's gonna blackmail him. I thought it was just that she lived with her parents, not that she was, you know, school kid.
We know you're getting a hard time off Lizzie, but there's really no need to take it out.
Yeah.
Shite being Scottish! We're the lowest of the low! We're ruled by effete arseholes! It's a shite state of affairs to be in, Tommy.
Spud, sick boy, and I made a healthy, informed, democratic decision to get back on heroin as soon as possible.
Oh, and now they're back on it.
It's a full-time business.
Yeah, doing what they can to get money, robbing cars and stuff.
The quintessential Bond girl. That's what everyone says.
He just loves to talk about Bond. He just talks about whatever he can.
Lizzie's gone, Mark. She's gonna fucking dump me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he wasn't exactly the best boyfriend, was he?
I want to try it, Mark.
Oh, he's... Okay, so he's getting on the stuff now.
We took morphine, diamorphine, cyclizine, codeine, temazepam...
Just whatever they can get their hands on. Don't care about others. Look at that.
Pardon me, may I use your bathroom?
He's gonna go fight him. Or they were just gonna go rob him. He always wants to take it that one step too far, doesn't he? Pull out his knife. Even the bartender's wearing his jacket. Something happened. With the baby, probably.
She might have been screaming for a week for all I knew. I mean, everything was going to be even worse than it already was.
It's got chills. What's happened? How did it happen? Did they just forget about the baby and leave it there, starving, or?
Spuds, Swannies, sick boys.
But
I don't know.
the baby isn't theirs, but because they're always around it, there's like a connection.
Because I'm a short rent. I really need a hit.
That's the first thing you think of, yeah.
To take the pain away.
No, they need to think of what to do.
Well, at least we knew who the father was now.
Oh, okay.
Something inside Sick Boy was lost and never returned. It seemed he had no theory with which to explain a moment like this.
He's gone quiet.
To keep pile misery upon misery, heap it up in a spoon.
Oh, and this is where the intro was.
Because no matter how much you stash or how much you steal, you never have enough.
Yeah.
In sentencing you to 6 months imprisonment, my only worry is that it will not be long before we meet again. Mr. Renton,
Yeah.
the suspension of your sentence is conditional on your continued...
Okay, so if he gets clean, he'll get out of being sentenced.
With God's help, I'll conquer this terrible affliction.
He's talking his way out of it. So he needs to be good as well. He can't get caught doing anything for the next few months.
There's better things than the needle rents. Choose life.
They're talking to him like they're any better.
Your boy went down because he was a fucking smarty.
Oh no. What is he saying?
The fucking cunt that tried to get him off it.
They're all just liars, you know?
I was surrounded by my family and my so-called mates, and I've never felt so alone. 3 sickly sweet doses of methadone a day instead of smack.
Yeah, to wean you off it, yeah. That was a cool transition. Falling through the carpet, yeah. That's cool. I think I might have seen this scene before. It's quite iconic. He starts to like float, doesn't he? Oh, is it overdosed or something? And then he's moving him so it doesn't look like it was in... It looked like he had just found him somewhere. Like in the staircase. Or in the road, okay. Oh, he is just getting him a taxi. It wasn't an ambulance. I thought he had overdosed and he was like calling an ambulance and that was gonna backfire, obviously, because he was supposed to not get caught and stay off of everything. And then he'd get imprisoned. Oh, no, it was... Okay. It's just throwing me through the loop. He was actually going to A&E though. But he just got a taxi instead of an ambulance. Hitting his head so much like that can't be good. Do they know what he's overdosed with? That was cool, coming into the real world like that, that realization and the sound design there, that was really cool. Yeah, you can just see the disappointment on their face. Oh, was he always like into trains as a kid then? This is like his childhood bedroom, he's got trains on his walls. Is like train spotting his like hobby that he finds his way out? He like goes back to his childhood, his love of trains. Is like that why it's called train spotting? That's my theory at the moment, I guess.
Too ill to sleep, too tired to stay awake.
Stuck in between. Oh, that's really cool.
You're worse coming off that than you are with the heroin. Nothing at all.
It's a clean break this time.
That's going to be even worse for him in terms of withdrawal, isn't it?
One more score lately. Just bring me one more hit.
That was always it though. It was always one more. Just one more. One last one to wane him off. It must be hard as a parent seeing your own kids like this as well. Oh, he's seeing the baby. The baby on the ceiling. I feel like I've heard that reference before. People reference the baby on the ceiling from Trainspotting. These shots of him being like lost under the sheets are really cool. All of the kind of like creative shots when the people are high are all super well made. How his room was like expanding that one time and how he fell into the carpet. It's all super fun and creative. It's hard to know what's actually happening here. Maybe his friends were visiting him here, but maybe not. Maybe you're just seeing it all. It's the guilt from the dead baby approaching him. Yeah, and Spud being locked up.
HIV binds to which receptor on the host?
So he got this fear that he's maybe caught HIV from all the injections as well, and now Tommy's on the drugs as well now, so he's feeling guilt about that as well.
The ultimate hit.
Look at him, he's all spots and shit. It's all coming to a head. Oh, that's weird, that is creepy.
Something you need to do.
Is he gonna get in more trouble now because the system, they know that he was back doing drugs? Because part of his release was that as a condition that he was in rehab, you know, getting himself off.
Tommy, it's Mark, man.
Tommy's just gone completely off the deep end, hasn't he? Someone's been vandalizing his outside his apartment and stuff. Yeah, it's a complete mess. Mark is going to blame himself for it.
She was right. I had to find something new.
Yeah, she is right. He's turned his life around. Oh, he's moved to London. Has he moved to London or is he just visiting? This is a weird look at London, like in the 90s. This is what people thought of London back then.
Stylistic agency. Oh yes, it's a beautifully converted Victorian townhouse.
Okay, so he's an estate agent. So he has fully moved there, got a new job there to turn his life around.
It's £320 a week.
320 a week. At first I thought 320 a month. I was like, oh, that's cheap. Like, especially for then. No, that's expensive even today. That looked like it was quite a big apartment actually, shared between two people.
I'm not pregnant, but thanks for asking. Spud, who sends his regards. Or at least I think that's what he said. Francis Begbie has been on television a lot this week, as he is wanted by the police in connection with an armed...
Oh shit, Bigby's on the run. And Tommy's nowhere to be seen. Could this be Tommy? Oh, that letter was written by Bigby.
Armed robbery? Oh, with a replica? I mean, how the fuck can it be armed robbery with a fucking replica?
No, even if it's a fake gun, it still counts.
Hey, Reds!
Begbie settled in no time at all.
Yeah, so Bigby's just forced his way in, hasn't he? And it's going to be hard to kick Bigby out, because if you try to, he's just going to try and fight. He's lost his, like, personal space here. That's why you have to choose your mates wisely. But he's already turned it into a shithole. At some point, I just think maybe you should just turn him in.
Come on! Come on! Ah!
He won their bet, but did he even put the right bet in?
With the winnings, we went out to celebrate.
So he did actually go out, of course he did.
Music is changing, drugs are changing, even men and women are changing.
The world's always changing.
No guys and no girls, just wankers. It's just a pity no one told Begbie.
Oh, is she gonna be trans or something? And then he's gonna fight.
Fuck! You see, if you ask me, we're heterosexual by default.
Yeah.
It's just a question of who you fancy.
But how's Bigby gonna react to that?
But you try telling Begbie that.
Okay, I thought Bigby was gonna do something bad there and go murder her or something if he had his knife on him.
Sick Boy had reinvented himself as a pimp and a pusher, setting up contacts, as he constantly informed me, for the great skag deal that was one day going to make...
There's a great bit of personality, Bigby always like jerking in his sleep because he's so aggressive, you know. It just makes sense.
I got a good price for it. Rents, I need the money.
It was my fucking telly!
Oh, he sold his telly.
You gonna eat that?
No, he needs to ditch these guys. Look at how they're treating him, come on.
You got a passport?
Why?
I bet he's realising.
Get you a good price.
And why would I want to sell my passport?
Has he got a hotel room for them or something? I can't really tell what this is. But he has kicked them out, actually.
When my boss found two desperate
Oh.
and Begbie were bound to feel threatened.
Oh, so it's... it's the place he couldn't sell. Okay, I get it.
And that was that.
They were arrested.
Never knew he'd gone full blown.
Oh, shit.
Fucked out of his eyeballs on smack or downers.
Yeah.
He could get toxoplasmosis from cat shit. He starts getting these headaches. So he just uses more smack.
Yeah, just try and get over the pain.
He'd been dead for ages before the neighbours complained about the smell. Tommy was lying face down in a pool of vomit.
We were two little boys.
Tommy.
That was cool. It almost sounded like the start of clapping, but it was just the beer cans opening.
About 2 kilos. So he tells me. They're fucking carrying this stuff for sale there and then, like. And I offered to take it off his hands at a very reasonable price, with the intention of punting it on myself to a guy I know in London. We're 2,000 short.
Well, that's tough.
You want the money off him.
I'm sorry, boys, I do not have £2,000.
Fucking day. I've seen your bank statement.
For fuck's sake. Mikey Forrester, Russian sailors, what the fuck are you boys on?
Yeah.
What no one told me was that when we bought the skag, some lucky punter would have to try it out.
Oh, and now he's back.
Yeah, that hit was good. I promised myself another one before I got to London.
Yeah, just one more, just one more, just one more.
If he got caught with a bag full of skag on top of that armed robbery shit, he was going down for 15 to 20.
Oh yeah, 'cause he's still on the run.
But let's be clear about this. There's final hits and final hits. What kind was this to be?
Yeah, exactly. Could be wrong doing it on a train as well. Like, if the train goes over a bump, if the bus goes over a bump or something, you know. See how this deal goes down. It could all be a setup or something, you know.
You get fun of that, didn't you?
Can you get forward?
What is Spud wearing? Why has he got these glasses? Is he trying to seem big and important? Or is he just, that's what he wanted to wear?
Small-time wasters with an accidental big deal.
Yeah. Just wondering if this is like a police setup or if this is a deal that's going to go wrong. They just ran off with the drugs. Spud looks really nervous.
He didn't need to negotiate. I mean, what the fuck were we going to do with it if he didn't buy it? Sell it on the streets?
Yeah.
We settled on £16,000. He had a lot more in a suitcase, like, but it was better than nothing.
So they got $4,000 each. Mark has the tough end of the deal because if he's only netting $2,000, the rest are getting even more than that because he put the most in.
Felt really great. Like we were all in it together, like friends, like it meant like £16,000.
So what about you, Spud? Like any major investments on this?
Is it all going to fall apart when they talk about how they're going to split it? Obviously, Mark put more in. They're acting like they've got 16 each. Like $4,000, that's a lot. But it's not like a lot. Like, it can be rent for a few months, but if you just go out partying, you can waste it away really quick.
See, when I get back, the money's still here, okay?
And the moment your back stand, we're at the door.
Yeah, I'll be right.
Or someone's going to steal the money or something.
Are you game for it?
What?
Well,
You serious?
He hates those two anyway.
Fuck's sake!
Great.
Fuck you. If you can't hold a pint, you shouldn't be in the pub, mate. Now, fuck off.
Here we go. Oh, yeah. They're going to get caught with all the money as well now. Oh, shit.
Get in my fucking way!
You should just run with the money, not associate with them.
You bring me down a fucking cigarette.
Is he going to stand up to Franco? I hope he just runs away. Take his share and go. Or just take the whole bag. He could take the bag, call the police, tell them that Bigby is there, and just get out of there. I know there is a second movie, so I'm wondering if he gets away here, if the second movie sets so far in the future is them coming to get revenge on him or something. Yeah, he's noticed. Is Spud actually gonna say anything or just pretend he was asleep the whole time?
but Begbie, I couldn't give a shit about him. And Sick Boy, well, he'd have done the same to me if he'd only thought of it first.
Yeah, it's just Spud. He'd already screwed over Spud before. Did he leave that money there for Spud? I'm not sure. That wasn't all of the money. That was just like $2,000. Or did he just try to put it in different places, split it up? Oh, and it's the police, and that it'll be Bigby and he'll get arrested.
Could offer a million answers, all false. The truth is that I'm a bad person. This is the last of that sort of thing. I'm cleaning up and I'm moving on, going straight and choosing.
That's always what he says.
The job, the family, the fucking big television, the washing machine, the car.
It's just what he says at the start, yeah. Okay. Oh, it's still going? Yeah, he left some for Spud, of course. Okay, I'm glad that that's what that was. Okay, so that was Trainspotting. I really enjoyed that. A lot of the camera work there was really cool, especially during some of these like more trippy scenes where people are getting high and we see like walls distorting and people moving and the backgrounds moving in cool and creative ways. That was really cool. I think overall this movie, it's kind of like a warning about who you surround yourself with, like what friends you have, I guess. If you surround yourself with bad people like Renton did, they kind of rub off on you. And I know at the end he said he was a bad person as well, but I don't know if he was really a bad person deep down, but because he surrounded himself with bad people, it meant he did all of these bad things. So as an outsider, you would see him as a bad person. You know, you see him as an addict and a thief because he's stolen all of these things and done a lot of bad things. You know, Big B, he was an example. Like, he was just an awful person. He was constantly getting in fights and robbing people and just stabbing people, you know. He just constantly wanted to stab people. And, you know, they said he brandished a fake gun to try and rob a store. And that's kind of scarily similar to something that happened to someone I went to school with. He robbed a shop with like a fake gun, and this was a guy I used to sit next to at school. And that just makes me think, you know, if I had become friends with him, I would end up in a similar situation. You know, it's all about the people you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with good people, good things will come of that. You just have to be conscious about the people that you surround yourself with. I'm really glad the movie didn't glamorize the drug use too much. You know, it did at the start. You see these characters and you see them as kind of cool. They're running about. They're giving like this criticism on consumerism, you know. But very quickly, the kind of allure and coolness of them kind of deteriorates, and you see all of the negatives and all of the bad things that come because of that, and all of the drawbacks there are to their lifestyle, you know. I don't think many people are going to watch this and think, oh, I want to be like them, you know. But, you know, there are always people who watch something and completely miss the point and misinterpret it and will think these characters are super cool and want to live that lifestyle. But there's not much you can do in that case. I really liked the ending. I'm glad that Renton got away, and I really like that he gave Spud some of the money, because, you know, I was kind of seeing it coming that Renton was trying to get out of there. He was already trying to kind of get out of this lifestyle beforehand, but now he's like fully out. He's got this money, and it does make me wonder, you know, I know there's a sequel. I don't know much about it. I don't know if the characters are all the same, if Renton's the same, if it's like Big B coming out of prison to try and get revenge or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see what he does with the money in the future, if he actually makes something of himself with all this money and this kind of like opportunity. Does he start a business? Does he grow into like a functioning member of society, I guess? Or does he just stick with crime and drugs and things, and that money just goes to waste? It's a lot of money, but it's not loads, as in you could blow that money very easily if you weren't careful, you know? I thought it was funny what Renton said at the end, where he was almost like taunting the audience, especially kind of people who are watching this from a place of more privilege than him, because he's saying like, oh, I have this money, I'm going to get a job and a nice house, and I could be right next to you. And it makes you think, you know, you never really know what other people have been through. Someone sitting next to you commuting to work or something, they could have had, you know, a lifestyle like this beforehand or something, you know. You never know people's stories. I really liked the kind of like atmosphere here. All of the music choices were really great, and there's this kind of sense of energy and rhythm to the movie. It's very fast paced, and it's kind of like stylized and grimy. It sets this really cool tone. And I just want to talk a bit about the kind of Diane plot point. I've seen people talk about this on TikTok and Twitter and things, about kind of who's responsible when someone younger lies about their age and kind of sleeps with someone older. You know, because a lot of people say, well, it's the underage person's fault or it's the adult's fault for not realising and things like that. So, of course, it's kind of like the bouncer should have checked their ID. They shouldn't have even been in the club in the first place. There was no way for Mark to know that she was underage. And I know some people, they say, you should be able to tell just by looking at people. There are signs that give it away. But of course, in this context, the actress who plays her was overage as well. She must have been, because she had a nude scene. So I couldn't tell. I could tell there was something up. I just thought she lived with her parents at first. But I didn't think it was because she lived with her parents because she was underage. But I do feel like in the movie, that kind of just gets forgotten about, I guess. Like, they don't really address that. Mark, he feels guilty at first, and then she kind of blackmails him, saying, you're going to see me again, or I'm going to tell everyone. By the end, I don't know, it seems kind of inconsequential. It seems like, you know, he's thinking about her as well, so he is like in love with her even though he knows it's wrong. It's kind of a weird situation, you know. I don't know if the movie is really like taking a stance on it, if it's saying that Diane was in the wrong, because I mean, she was to an extent. She definitely manipulated Mark, but it's almost like he forgave her really quick, and then he wasn't sleeping with her again, but he was still talking to her again. It was just kind of weird. I wasn't sure what to make it or what stance the film was kind of taking on that. If it, you know, it was, I don't know if it was taking a stance at all, really. And I wonder if it will be brought up again in the sequel, if Diane is in that, or if that's something that's completely forgotten about, or, you know, that could be something interesting to explore later once they're older and they've matured and they can have like a conversation about it, like, you manipulated me, or you should have known, you know. That'd be cool to explore that more, I guess. And then there were some quite dark things that happened in this. Of course, there was kind of like Tommy's downfall that was basically caused by Mark. He like gave him these drugs, even though Mark was off at that point. So Mark obviously felt a lot of guilt for what happened to Tommy, because he kind of helped him into this lifestyle, and it was his fault that the DVD went missing, that the VHS of the sex tape went missing. So he probably felt guilty for that as well. Obviously, Tommy is still kind of at fault there. Your responsibility to look after a sex tape. Just kept it out in the open, I guess, for anyone to take. I don't know. And he wasn't exactly a great boyfriend before that anyway. And then there was the whole plot point with the baby. So it turned out Sick Boy was the dad. And he was obviously very affected by what happened, because we'd seen this baby before. I didn't assume it was anyone's. I just thought, you know, obviously the mum was there, but I didn't think it was any of the guys. Then it revealed that it was Sick Boy's. That was cool. But then I'm just wondering what actually happened to the baby that caused it to die, because obviously it was very mistreated. It was just left wandering around this drug den. It could have stepped on a needle very easily or something like that. I don't know if the baby was just kind of left alone in his cot for too long because they were too high to take care of it, or if something more happened to it, if it had caught any diseases, or, you know, or if it had been hurt somehow. I don't know. It was kind of hard to tell. All we know is that the baby died, and then when we see all of Mark's guilt in that one scene in his like childhood bedroom, we see the baby crawling on the ceiling. That was super creepy, and especially kind of the face that the baby had. It was so weird and kind of distorted, just enough for it to be disturbing, you know. So this was a really cool film. It felt more like a kind of, it felt almost like a coming of age film, you know, where they have these films where it's like nothing really happens, where it's just kind of this kind of loose story and you see all these different things happen, and it feels like a more of a coming of age story, which was really cool, just seeing all of these characters, because that's what kind of is the driving force of this. All of these fun, creative characters, they just really bounce off of each other in a really cool way, and it's just really fun to watch. So I really enjoyed this. I hope you liked this video. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment, and if you really loved it, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date for all the future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.